Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and here's the headlines. Vietnam-China boosts defense cooperation. Pilots race to save victims on water. Vietnamese fruits available in 60 markets worldwide. General Secretary and President Tô Lâm led a Vietnamese high-ranking delegation, visited and had a working session with the Central Party School of the Communist Party of China on August the 20th as part of his state visit to China. Addressing the meeting, General Secretary and President Tô Lâm said that with its significant contributions and outstanding achievements, the Chinese Central Party School has gained good experiences in all aspects, from researching, teaching, training, and developing human resources to innovation, technology application, and development promotion, which is a good source of reference for Vietnam. He stressed that the great achievements China has made today are brilliant practical results of the pioneering theory of the Communist Party of China, crystallized in Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. He emphasized that over the past years, cooperation between the Chinese Central Party School and Vietnamese partners, including the Ho Chi Minh National Academy of Politics, has been consolidated and developing extensively. The two schools have worked together for more than 30 years since 1993 with a wide range of activities. Both schools have signed a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in the new period with rich and specific terms and contents. To deepen the relations between the two parties and countries, General Secretary and President Tô Lâm suggested that the two schools step up exchanges and discussions, enhance cooperation, especially in personnel training, promote trust and mutual understanding. Within the framework of the state visit of General Secretary and President Tô Lâm and his spouse to China on August the 20th at the headquarters of the Chinese Ministry of National Defense, General Phan Van Giang, Defense Minister of National Defense, had a meeting with his Chinese counterpart, Senior Lieutenant General Dong Jun. General Phan Van Giang affirmed that through the historic high-level visit of former General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng in October 2022, General Secretary and President Xi Jinping in December 2023, and this visit of General Secretary and President Tô Lâm, the senior leaders of the two parties and states have reached important common perceptions, establishing a new momentum for the bilateral relations, elevating the comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership, building a Vietnam-China community of shared future of strategic significance with 6 major orientations, including more substantive defense and security cooperation. In the coming time, the Central Military Commission and Ministry of National Defense of Vietnam hope to work with the Central Military Commission and Ministry of National Defense of China to further strengthen and develop the cooperation contents that the two sides have been implementing, at the same time studying and expanding cooperation in new potential areas of mutual interest, especially defense industry, education and training, party and political work. Chinese Defense Minister Dong Jun expressed his delight to meet Minister Phan Van Giang again through the visit of General Secretary and President Tô Lâm, with the important results achieved in the relationship between the two countries. This is also an opportunity for the two militaries to further consolidate and promote the relationship to be more substantial, effective, and developed. The host emphasized that strengthening and expanding cooperation between the two militaries in various aspects is of great strategic significance to a community of shared future. For the two countries to develop better and for the cause of socialist construction of both sides to reach victory requires the two militaries to be steadfast, stand side by side, continue to promote cooperation in party and political work, strengthen border cooperation, border management both on land and at sea, and consolidate a strong foundation for the development of each country. In the coming time, it is necessary to further enhance substantive cooperation between the two militaries in all fields towards substantiveness and higher quality, with more effective friendly exchange activities contributing to the harmony, prosperity and happiness of the two peoples. On this occasion, General Fan Vanzang invited leaders of the Central Military Commission and Ministry of National Defense of China to attend the 80th founding anniversary of the Vietnam People's Army and the 2nd Vietnam International Defense Expo in December 2024. On August the 20th, Nhân dân newspaper launched a special page named General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng, a dedicated and visionary leader of the party, and opened a photo exhibition on the late party leader. The event saw the attendance of standing member of the party's Central Committee Secretariat, Lương Cường. The information page includes 5 sections: news firmly following the chosen path, messages for the country and people, opinions of leaders and experts, and affection for the General Secretary, gathering nearly 1,000 articles, photos, videos and multimedia press products with modern press technologies on digital platforms, thereby affirming and spreading the value of the party chief's theoretical achievements and great contribution in building a scientific and practical foundation for the process of building guidelines and policies for national construction and development in the renewal period. It is an important database serving the research and reference work of cadre, party members and the people. Also on this occasion, Nhân dân newspaper opened a photo exhibition on late General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng, featuring 44 photos on his life and career. It will run until August the 22nd at number 71 Hàng Chống Street, Hà Nội. On August the 20th, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Defense Minister, hosted a reception for Japanese Senior Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs Funakoshi Takehiro. Vietnam-Japan defense cooperation has been promoted and developed comprehensively, achieving positive results, becoming one of the important pillars in the bilateral relations. Both sides have successfully implemented the exchange of delegations at all levels, the effective maintenance of defense policy dialogue mechanisms at the deputy ministerial level, and consultations between staff officers from the navies, armies and air forces, the enhancement of technology transfer cooperation, and the ongoing efforts to address the consequences of war in Vietnam. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến suggested that the two sides continue to promote bilateral defense cooperation in a more practical and effective way, making important contribution to the sound bilateral relations. Mr. Funakoshi Takehiro affirmed that Japan attaches the importance to its relationship with Vietnam, including defense cooperation. He expressed a desire to further deepen and enhance defense ties in a more practical and effective manner. On the morning of August the 20th, Senior Lieutenant General Huỳnh Chiến Thắng, Deputy Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, had a meeting with the delegation of the Operations Department of the Lao People's Army on a working visit to Vietnam. Senior Lieutenant General Huỳnh Chiến Thắng affirmed that the leaders of the Ministry of National Defense and the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army always attach importance to and create the most favorable conditions for the cooperation between the operation agencies of the two militaries. He suggested that in the coming time, the two agencies need to coordinate more closely in their responsible fields, focusing on exchanging information, sharing experience, constantly innovating and improving the effectiveness of staff work, and making proposals to the leaders of the two ministries of national defense on military and defense work. The representative of the Lao delegation thanked leaders of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army for taking the time to receive the delegation, while showing the agreement to promote cooperative contents. Suspended in mid-air, braving storms to continue the mission of saving lives amidst the raging seas, just imagining it gives the feel of danger in intensity. However, it is a familiar working environment for Air Force soldiers, especially as natural disasters become increasingly unpredictable. These pilots have undergone rigorous training for years to rescue people under any circumstances. More of their relentless training to be shown at the 2024 Airborne Search and Rescue Competition organised by the Air Defence Air Force Service. The vast area training space is fraught with risk and dangers. Many challenges await the 5 teams participating in the competition. Upon receiving orders, helicopters carrying the hope of saving lives took off towards their designated locations, battling harsh area conditions and turning pressure into motivation. The crew devised the fastest and most accurate approach to their targets. Based on the task we have prepared and coordinated, the crew accurately identifies the target's location, assesses weather conditions, and sets a secure perimeter. Our goal is to get the helicopter, crew, and rescue team to the target as quickly and safely as possible. Rescuing victims requires pilots to have steadfast nerves and masterful skills to keep the helicopter steady, even as its centers of gravity shift due to the hundreds of kilograms of rescue hoist. Each completed task represents a fierce competition of physical and mental strength, experience, and courage. Coming up next, Vietnamese fruits available in 60 markets worldwide. Thăng Long Imperial Citadel recognized as model for heritage preservation. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Vietnamese fruits are exported to 60 markets and territories. Each market has its own regulations on food safety and hygiene and quarantine in export shipments. Therefore, export enterprises need to clearly understand the regulations. The import requirements set by the countries are divided into 2 groups. The first group set basic requirements. Once the import fruits are not contaminated with quarantine objects and don't leave pesticide residues, they will be granted with a quarantine certificate for export. The second group, which puts forth more difficult, high-quality requirements, involves markets such as the US, Australia, Japan, and the Republic of Korea. In its recent 46th session, UNESCO approved Vietnam's proposals on the orientation and vision for researching, preserving, and developing the central sector of the Imperial Citadel of Thăng Long. This endorsement underscores the sound strategy of Hanoi in particular, and Vietnam in general, in preserving and enhancing the value of this heritage site. UNESCO's agreement marks the beginning of a new chapter in promoting the Thăng Long Imperial Citadel, with a focus on dismantling certain structures to pave the way for the restoration of the Kính Thiên Palace. Few heritage sites have hidden values that surpass the known ones, as is the case with the Thăng Long Imperial Citadel. Therefore, the task of simultaneously researching, preserving, and promoting the value of this World Heritage Site is quite unique. After 2 years of submission, international experts highly appreciated the dossier for the conservation of the site. The most important issues approved by UNESCO include archaeological research, the dismantling of structures that do not contribute to the outstanding universal value of the heritage and that infringe upon the central axis, and the reconstruction of the Kính Thiên Palace. This decision is of great importance. Following the decision of the World Heritage Committee, the Thăng Long Imperial Citadel will implement these conservation plans, entailing visitors to better understand the contributions of our ancestors, as well as the 1,000-year history of Vietnam. The journey of researching the Kính Thiên Palace is one from nothing to something. From initially only having the foundation of the Kính Thiên Palace, followed by the Long Thiên Palace, today scientists have achieved 60 to 70% of the restoration process for Kính Thiên Palace. Each archaeological excavation at Thăng Long Imperial Citadel reveals more about its value. Alongside the research on tangible heritage, activities and ancient court rituals are also being revived.
Vietnamese government and the city of Hanoi and the Thăng Long Citadel have made incredible research into the history of both the tangible and intangible cultural heritage, and have been able to link them together to make the tangible heritage and Thăng Long Citadel in particular alive.
With its globally outstanding values accumulated over more than 10 centuries, Thăng Long Imperial Citadel holds a particularly important cultural position in Hanoi heritage system. Since it opened to the public and was recognized as a World Cultural Heritage Site by UNESCO, the site has become increasingly attractive with a variety of large-scale and engaging cultural events and activities. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.